Welcome in. Week 8 is coming right down the wire. We got special guest this weekend for this week. My fellow nemesis, Chris, the man.
How's it going? Thanks for having me, Sal.
Absolutely. We also got the bottom of the barrel, our 12th place power ranker, Joseph J. Koempel Jr.
Hi, Christopher. Hi, Sal.
How's it going?
W.
You guys excited for week 8?
Nope. I'm pissed.
Yeah. Coming back.
You want to tell us why, Junior?
This Yahoo fucking sucks.
Yahoo sucks.
I would have won.
Why don't we
Yahoo
start off
didn't
with what
save my
happened?
life.
Can you explain, maybe, this floor is yours?
So,
A court hearing? This is your floor?
12 o'clock on Saturday. Woke up. On Sunday, sorry. Woke up. I knew it was time. Did my lineup. Pulled it all out. Got excited. I was like, all right, cool. I could pick up a defense. Tried to pick up Saints defense. Realized I texted Weezer. They wasn't letting me because somebody just dropped them. You can't pick them up. It has to be waiver wire pickup at that point. So I said, okay, cool. Next best thing. Green Bay. Picked up Green Bay. Put them in my starting lineup. All right, cool. Doing good. All right. Sly. No longer COVID. Good to play. Started him. Put in my lineup. Perfect. Left. Went to soccer. Me and Sal. Big victory. About, I think it was like halftime. Looked at the lineup. Didn't save. Green Bay's on the bench. Sly's on the bench. Down. Lose by 4 points. Green Bay started. Sly started. I would have won. So pretty much I got fucked.
Basically, you didn't double check your work.
That's fucking bullshit because I did. Right before I submitted it, if it saves, it saves. It should never, ever go back.
I think I can attest a little bit. I think the connection was a little bad out on the home field.
Horrible.
Did I say that to you?
You did.
Not in just in coincidence. It wasn't like it had anything to do with what happened with you. It was just the fact that I noticed that I was trying to load up the thing.
Myself. The service, yeah. We couldn't get it open.
That has nothing to do to backup Junior. I actually do remember me telling him that.
Service sucked.
Way before I knew any of this. So. Service, yeah, it was weird. I don't know what cross farms out in Homedale, but something was a little weird with the internet for sure.
It was horrible.
So you're saying basically you went to switch it, but it didn't save?
No, I saved it and went right before I exited off. It was saved. Green Bay was in my lineup, so was Sly. But then when I went to go check it later on, it wasn't there. And I texted Sal, Weezer, and I said, Sal, like, what the fuck? It didn't save, number one. And then the same points are out.
And you sent me a screenshot of the text and the time? And I can put it up now?
Yeah, but I texted him after because I realized after the fact that it didn't say it.
I did the same thing, but it's after you beat.
I'll send it to you. Hold on.
After
Send it to
one.
me anyway?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you.
So we're starting off week 8 with the court appearance, basically. It's like an appeal. Junior is appealing his match. He's going to send me the evidence.
Right now. And then Sal went back and laughed at the message because it actually happened.
So why don't you touch on that point? Run down how the verbiage went between you and the commissioner after that fact.
So I pretty much said to Sal, I said, FYI, not sure what happened, but I started Green Bay and somehow Steelers are in. Is that changeable? They're equal points right now. This is at 120. He goes, no, LMAO. I said, that's fucking bullshit because I saved it, literally checked before it started. Hence why I picked them up. I'm not going to pick them up and not start them. It wouldn't even make any sense. He goes, that's not my issue. I go, SMH. I go, and if I lose because of it, I'll die. And then about 7-8 hours later, he went back and he laughed at it because I lost because of it.
Did you die, though?
Not die. Thank God.
Yeah,
Hey, Doe.
I'm not sure if we have a committee that's like also supposed to get involved on these matters. I don't know if Dylan can help us with that part. He was a co-commissioner at one point, or I don't know if you're still considered to be one.
The rule is, I believe it's stated in the handbook that Junior signed as well, that if you need a position change, you must text commissioner prior to the game starting. So once the game starts, like Junior texted him, he said, like, although Junior said they both had the same amount of points, right? But what if I texted Sal and I said, hey, look, both of my players have the same amount of points. Can you switch them? But one of them's actually on the 1 yard line about to run in a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So although that's not what happened, that's the same logic as why you can't do that. So suppose here's where here's where you would utilize this privilege. Like suppose I was out of town and my app wasn't working. It was like 12:57, and I called Sal and I said, hey, can you put in this guy for like, can you switch my player for me? Like I can't get to a computer. He'll do it prior to the game starting. But since the game started, although it's unfortunate, Junior, although it's unfortunate, I don't know about the verbiage between you and the commissioner because you did not reach out to me, so I didn't see it. It seems to me. Are you saying that the commissioner said it was okay, or he laughed at you and said it was not okay?
No, he told me when I told him, he goes, that's not my issue. There's nothing I can do now. And I said, well, it's fucking bullshit because I saved it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Watch it like before it starts, make sure it doesn't go back. And I said, this is bullshit because if I lose because of it, I'm gonna die. So then 8 hours later, when he realized I lost because of it, he went back and laughed at that message.
Well, glad that you're still here. I think a message that we should shout out to everybody is if you make a change, make a drop, make an add, make an adjustment, check your lineup twice. So suppose you set your lineup at whatever, 12:30. Maybe check it again at 12:55 right before the games go off. I don't know. Maybe you got no good Wi-Fi and
close out of the app and go back in. It's the only way you're gonna know.
So before you jumped on, I did defend his case where we were on the same field out in Homedale across farms, and it wasn't related to what happened to him, but I was trying to pull up the app when I got there, and I was like, Junior, like, is the fucking connection suck out here? That's one of the only things I remember. So there was definitely a little bit of a connection issue out in that area, but I mean, you have all week to really do these things. So I think this is kind of cardinal rule. So a lot of us have been there. I know I was 2 years ago. I am actually the reason I think the rule changed or got it written. So
yes, you are.
Yeah, I've done that before too.
I am. Yeah. So, it is unfortunate. I'm gonna pull up the text confirmation, which is pretty much key evidence. I mean, do you think the commissioner could have dealt like done anything different? So I'm just trying to be commissioner for now, and he can't be here to speak for himself, so maybe to help me. Yeah, like what do you think could be anything on our side of the that can make things better for the future?
Well, there's really nothing he could do, honestly. I mean, it's not his fault, and I guess it's not mine either. But I guess I should have checked before 1 o'clock. But at the same time, I think he should have switched it because it was my fault.
You heard it there, Dale. So I guess what we have is good.
Yeah, everyone's hands are.
But here's the proof anyway. Proof in the pudding. Junior was nice enough to send the text, even though he knows. I think if we could check the time. Does it say the time?
Yeah. Actually, I don't think I slid, but it was 1:20 exactly on the dot.
That's simply just far too late to make an adjustment to a lineup, Junior.
I know. Here's worth a shot.
Yeah, we can't see the time because you have to do like the thing, right? We have to hold it. So what time would the oh my God started at when? That was you? It blew us up.
Yeah, that was something else though. That was a different conversation.
Oh. Okay, so FYI, not sure what happens, but I started Green Bay and somehow Steelers are in.
That was one.
They are equal points right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What time was that?
1:20.
1:20. Okay, and that was probably the game started. Our game started at that point. That was in the first half. I remember that.
Yep.
And then he goes, "No, that's bull. I saved it. Literally checked before it started. Hence why I picked them up. That's not my issue.
I can pick them up and not start them before the game."
But I think this is one of the quotes of the year, though, Dill. Not the way we expected to start the show, but and if I lose, if I lose because of it, I'll die.
Well, you lost because of it.
I legit lost because of it.
The content that we get every year from this group is
fucking stupid.
I think Dill has another quote of the week. Where did it come from? Joey? I think this was a Joey one that you had before.
Oh yeah. Oh God, let me see if I can find it. It was so long ago. What he said.
It was sometime today, I thought, right? Was that today?
Well, Tooch and Danny gave me a quote. but we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, that's a little different. There was something that Joey said earlier.
Yeah, you can get us into the rankings while I pull it up into the recap.
Yeah. So Chris, we might as well start off with our match since you're here, and this is your show.
Oh yeah, Joey said, "Fuck this stupid sport and fuck this stupid league. I'm done."
I think we get that once a year though.
Yeah, and he said this in regards to DK Metcalf not getting any of the targets while Tyler Lockett proceeded to get 60 points against him.
Can we pull up the Don quote from this weekend when he with his bench points?
Yeah, he said he was hard on himself. He said, "Poor management by me." We asked him if he wanted to be on the podcast. He said no. He declined. He said he didn't deserve to be on the podcast. He said, "Poor management by me," like as in being himself. He said he left 37 points on his bench. I said, "Dude, Chris left 120 points on his bench last week. So how do you feel like being him?" Kid's got the best bench in fantasy history.
What's he gonna do with this week without Watson? Who's gonna pick up, you think?
I don't know. Don's been a waiver wire warrior this season, low key. So
yeah, he's got 15 waiver moves. He's right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's more than I think he's done in combined history of our league.
Yeah, usually up 2 or 3 if you're lucky. All right, so me and Chris got to play each other. Seems to always be a showdown. Obviously the first time I went to the finals was against you. 2 years ago. You were dominating the league that year. I had to come back 7-6 just to make the playoffs, and I made a run obviously all the way through. I think you only had like 2 losses that whole year.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That rivalry started then. Go ahead.
I was just talking about that finals. That was nuts too. I played the wrong quarterback and I fucked up.
You know what's interesting? When you go back, you can go look at the history. I was doing it, like whatever 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you can? You can go see it?
Yeah.
Gallup have a day.
Yeah, Michael Gallup with a big goose egg. Me and McKinnon and Freeman combined 0.7, under 1 point for running backs. A lot of things that could have been better for both sides, even though we both pretty much put up over 130. So it wasn't the worst of weeks. Capable of leading at least probably half the league. But I take my first loss by 8 points, so I'm not completely upset with that. Keep my points 4 up there, so that's good. I'm going to take it somewhere. So might as well get it out of the way. The floor is yours, Chris. This is your week. So you want to touch on the matchup. How were you feeling? The emotional connection to it.
Sorry. Yeah, it was a good matchup. We both did pretty good. I had a couple starters out that were playing that aren't injured. And I'm going to have a bit of a rough season with the injuries. I think next week I have 3 guys that I drafted playing on my team, and one of those is my kicker. So
yeah,
it's been a challenge, but I think I got a all right team put together here. Nothing crazy though, but we had a good matchup. We definitely had a couple guys that laid fucking eggs though, and yeah, it's pretty good though. I don't know. I'm surprised. I was very surprised that Michael Gallup didn't catch 1 ball, or didn't even get thrown a ball.
No targets, nothing. Yeah,
no targets. Yeah.
A goose egg of a goose egg. So I know like you didn't seem as confident. Where I pretty much knew once I looked at the scores, I knew you were pretty much had it with just even before Wilson played. I figured with Wilson and Henderson, even though I didn't think Henderson was a big day, I thought you were pretty much had it secured in the bag. Were you not confident going into that Sunday night game?
I felt pretty good. I don't like to call it before though.
Yeah.
I've done that before and I've eaten my words.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a lot like me. We stay pretty humble. We just let it play out.
Yeah, I think a couple of seasons ago I had to change my name to Humble because I was
Humble
a lot of shit and then I lost.
It was kind of on the other side of the spectrum than us. So he probably would have said good game 3 minutes before it even started.
Yeah.
on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Did we lose Junior?
No, I'm here. Sorry.
He's that upset he left. Anything you're looking to do heading into week 8? And if you got any of the buys coming up? We got, I believe it's Washington's on a bye.
He gets his Vikings back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get my Vikings back.
The
I got my Vikings back, but I'm down. Godwin's hurt again for the fucking 5th week this season. And I think Freeman's out. So we'll see.
I mean, it's tough to give us too much info since we're doing this. We're recording the day before the waiver wire.
Yeah,
That's not always the optimal podcast, but
that's true.
but we are. So we're going into week 8. We are at exactly the halfway point of the fantasy season. You want to look at it that way? We're heading into the halfway point. Cardinals, Washington football team. I almost said the other word. Jaguars and Texans are all on a bye this week. Not the worst bye week, other than maybe the Cardinals. I mean, I don't think there's any too much big games other than Deshaun Watson. Texans.
That's big in Watson, yeah.
Yeah. It's not a huge week of buys, I don't think, across the board here. I need to figure out RB2. I don't know if McKinnon's going to be able to do the job even with Wilson out. They were holding him back. They just weren't playing him. I don't know what the case was with that. I don't know if he's banged up as well, and they didn't want to say it.
I think big ups to Chris on the Gronk pickup too. He lost Ertz.
Oh yeah.
I know he
Gronk was
drafted
scaring me, man.
pretty early, and he was expecting good production from Ertz.
Should have had 3 touchdowns.
Anyways, but Gronk started off slow. I think it probably took him a couple weeks to get back into football shape, because he's been out of the game, but he's getting that connection with Brady. Like if you look at his stats, I think the last 2 or 3 games he's really been doing well. So I think that's a big pickup for him because tight ends are kind of scarce. Either you have one of the top, 3 or 4 guys, or the rest is there's a big drop off. But I think that's a big pickup for Chris.
Yeah, I was excited when I saw him there. I think Junior, you had him, right?
Who? Say it again.
Did you have Gronk in the beginning?
Yeah, I dropped him.
He dropped him to pick up 3 people's backup running backs.
And who's your tight end now, Junior?
Fucking Noah Fant and who else? I had another one too.
Fant's actually not bad.
Yeah,
I don't blame you. The first 4 weeks, Gronk had like no points. So
he had nothing, bro. Now he's over there fucking.
He became Remember, the OJ Howard went out, so that was key. So Godwin's out with his finger issue. I think the surgery was today, Chris.
Yeah, today or yesterday. They did it right quick after the game. I think it was yesterday.
So definitely guaranteed to be out week 8. They do get the twin combo there in Minnesota. So you think he'll come back week 9? I don't think there's a true expectation on that, right?
Yeah, they're not too sure.
Especially they're getting Antonio Brown, who might be able to be eligible, I think, week 9. So
yeah, so he's gonna drop a little bit. But what's his name too? The other guy had Higgins has actually been doing pretty decent. So
yeah, what kind of impact do you think Antonio Brown will have?
I don't think that's good for me. Definitely not.
No, yeah. I mean, not great for anyone on that team, but
yeah.
What kind of fantasy player do you think he'll be, guys? In general. Will he take Scotty Miller's role? What happens?
I think it might be like a Gronk. Like it'll take him like a week or 2 or 3, and then by the end of the season, like playoff time, he'll be rolling.
Yeah, by the time he's got I don't know.
I think Tampa Bay can really make a Super Bowl push, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take long to get rolling with Brady. So
yeah, he'll probably get more than Godwin, but less than Evans.
I do love your T. Higgins pickup, by the way. I enjoyed that guy and the relationship he has with Burrow.
Like every week, look at his stats. He scores a touchdown literally.
That was a great plug-in. I mean, at this point, just give up on Gallup. Just, bench him away for a while.
Yeah, he only threw him in because he didn't have Thielen or Jefferson, I'm assuming.
What's the running back plan for you? Is Freeman's out this week, I believe?
The running back plan is that when I traded with Liguori, I should have taken Kareem Hunt and not Devontae Freeman. But
yeah, yeah,
that was a stupid.
Maybe mistake. Peterson, kind of touchdown dependent. We'll see.
Yeah, he's not.
You can look at people on the waivers. Get Gallman if you want to.
Henderson was a good pickup, but Freeman hasn't been really pulling any of his weight.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep Henderson in. Obviously, he's your one. You're gonna be RB1. All right, man. You got the receiving core. Kind of like we're kind of like the same boat. Seriously, we almost have the same type of team. These high-end receivers, and we just don't have any running backs. So maybe we both need to look at some trades.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking about it. So
at the running back game.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Junior. Junior, so we already touched on the controversy a little bit, but here's the result of it. You lost by less than 4 points because of your thing not saving. You tried to change. So, want to walk us through why you lost by 4 points to Luke? Who had a terrible week.
Simply because of the lineup change. I mean, my team didn't perform well either way, but CD Lamb, what did he get? 0.10 points, right? Yeah, 0.10. Tannehill just did not play as good as he should have. Tom Brady went off on the bench. James Robinson actually went off. He played a really good game, but Mike Davis sat there with 8 points. Same thing with Noah Fant. Juju actually had a good game as well, but it all led to Mike Evans with 5 and CeeDee Lamb with 0.10. Just did not help. And my lineup not saving didn't help either because that would have been the dub. But
I think that Luke heard that Junior couldn't get his lineup set, so he felt bad. So in order to match him, he just didn't play defense at all.
I guess so, but
So
either way, it just didn't really help.
Get it done, but still 101 points. We're gonna need a bit more from that, Junior.
Oh yeah.
I guess the bright spot is the fact that you traded Odell for Juju, and Odell died, and Juju actually looked pretty good. So congratulations on getting production out of him. Luke Liguori, Justin Herbert saved his ass, plain and simple. I had him in another league, and he just dropped 40, 50 points. That was bizarre. No points out of his tight end, no defense, and he still won. So Luke loses 5-3, and he gets Dalvin Cook coming back. So Luke is
flex.
Luke is rolling. Luke is definitely rolling, and Juju, Junior Koempel himself. I have to ask you, where do you see yourself moving forward? Because 2-5, you don't have the points for it. You've barely broken 100 the past 2-3 weeks. Do you have a plan until Christian McCaffrey comes back? Because you need a savior from this team, and I'm just not seeing it on your bench.
To be honest with you, I don't know because I don't even know. Honestly, Mike Davis was doing fine.
Clearly, so that was good.
Mike Davis was doing fine the first 3 weeks. Week 3 had 23 points, week 4, 22, week 5, 29. They just fell off with 11 against Chicago, 8 against New Orleans. He's got a better matchup this week against Atlanta and then against KC. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but we should have, I think, McCaffrey back by week 8. Let me see.
Yeah,
he's hopeful. Actually, he might be ready.
The problem is it's a Thursday night game, so it's not guaranteed. Obviously, there's a chance he may play this Thursday.
Yeah, he might play this
Probably
Thursday.
More likely they'll bounce him back on week 9. So I think at least.
Yeah. So Junior, I think you start out 2-0, 2-1.
Remember, you have the handcuffs, so how much of a difference is it going to make? Hopefully, if Mike Davis puts up 8 points, then yeah, it's going to make a huge difference. But.
Right.
Yeah, Chris, you're someone that we're kind of on the same boat. Like you lost Saquon Barkley, similar to how Junior lost McCaffrey. Junior has Mike Davis as backup. You have Devontae Freeman, who ended up being Barkley's backup, but he's not really giving you much production. Where do you think Junior goes from here, considering you've dealt with this before?
Well, what I did was when I lost him, I went to waivers and trades, and I think I got Henderson and I got Freeman from a trade. But it's kind of late, right? So there's not that many free guys on the waivers. So
there's like nothing
at a trade to get a guy now.
I would say that, but you got to remember all the key injuries coming up this week alone. So streaming is not just something you have to do week by week almost. So
right,
the streaming is available right now. There's a lot of notable injuries right now. Chris Carson right here is one big one. Junior gets a bump with Mike Evans because of Godwin on your side, so you might be able to look at that. Junior just has no depth still. That's one of the big things. But he pull off some wins here. I don't think his team's like dead.
No, you got your.
I thought would help him. I think it will still. I don't think he'll just do 21. What a week to start Brady though, dude.
I know.
The good news
watching that game, I'm like, who has Brady? Because I hope they started him.
Brady plays the Giants next week, so if you want to start him, Giants are the worst team ever. So
to be fair, Junior, did you consider playing Brady in this match and just based off matchup?
I had him starting, but I actually really thought Ryan Tannehill was going to break the Steelers' perfect record and keep running with it, but it
That's
went
the
to
only
pick up.
problem. Yeah, playing the Pittsburgh is like one of those teams, at least maybe the only team I don't trust right now.
Yep. And made the wrong choice.
I mean, that's a drastic choice, though, because that's fucking 25 points, dude.
Yeah, it was big. And I saw obviously Brady was playing Vegas, but I didn't think it was going to be that crazy.
Yeah, Vegas is always a shootout. They're a good team offensively, at least like decent enough to shoot out.
Yeah.
A great team, but yeah, do it. Can you touch on that? Like, to me, that's one of those things where you have to play the potential upside. You know, can you explain like what we mean by that?
I think what you're saying is it was kind of like the Joey with the Mahomes and Minshew situation, but the magnitude is not nearly as large. Obviously, Mahomes is obviously a different level than what we're dealing with here. But it was kind of like he said Gardner Minshew was going on Miami, very, very weak defense. Mahomes was going up against the Ravens, very strong defense. So that was his logic. However, there's certain magnitudes to where regardless of who Patrick Mahomes is playing, you're going to start him every week. Regardless of who Russell Wilson is playing, Chris is going to start him every week. Things of that nature. These guys are, they're still higher tier, but I don't think they're the tier where you guarantee start no matter what. I think this is where, when you have both of these guys, is where you kind of play the matchup. I think it's easy to sit here now and say, oh, yeah, Junior should have started Brady. But I can understand the thought process of starting Tannehill. I mean, click on Tannehill's note right there.
Yeah, it's completely more consistent than Brady.
Just see how Tannehill's been doing. Yeah, I mean, before this, he played against Buffalo, who's known to have one of the greatest defenses in the league. Drops 36.
Banged up though.
Goes to Houston, drops 39. I mean, yeah, played Jacksonville, dropped 34. Yeah, he really only had one not so great game. That was versus Minnesota, and even that game he threw for 300 yards. It's just Derrick Henry ran all the touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can't fault him for starting Tannehill, but obviously looking back on it, I think Tannehill was probably the safer pick, and I think Brady was the upside pick, and upside played off here.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't have a bad game, Tannehill. I mean, 4 going against Pittsburgh defense.
No, it's not a bad game.
And they lost by 3 in general. So, but it wasn't a high scoring game like a crazy.
Also, might I add that Steven Gostkowski missed a field goal to send to overtime. Who knows? Could have went to overtime. Tannehill could have got.
Also, Brady just went way off though. He went off the charts.
Yep. I mean, look at Brady. Brady hadn't broken 20. He dropped 18, 16. He got 11 once this year, and then see how he has these big booming games.
Yep.
He's kind of
But, I don't know. One of my things too is like why have Brady even on the roster on the depth chart, or have a second quarterback there? I mean, didn't Tano, he got by his bye because of the COVID thing? You're just trying to stash Brady just in case, those are one of the things that I try to look at.
I think I think he could start him this week versus the Giants because they can't really stop anybody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you have both on the roster, you might as well look at, matchup to matchup. Tannehill isn't Mahomes, but he is solid though.
Anyways, I think.
So what are the exact people he was trying to put in? The defense, the kicker?
Is that it? Defense.
I think your problems go way past it.
No, the thing where when he tried to make the roster change, it was just
he wanted to put Green Bay in
and Sly, right?
Yeah, he wanted to put.
Sly got 1 point less, so I don't know if that would have won it for him, dude. He needed more than 4. Oh no, 4 would have.
You still would have lost, Junior.
No, I would have won.
If you put Sly in, you would have had only.
I would have minus you a point.
No, Sly would have hurt him, but the kicker would have made him win.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have been +3.
No, it's +3. You would have been 104.7. You still would have lost.
Let me go back.
Yeah.
No, the defense would have made him win.
Anyway,
defense would have made me win.
I gotta take a quick breather, Dill, so I'm gonna let you take over your game.
Do the math. Do the math again, Junior. You would have lost.
Dilly Dill.
All right.
You're gonna touch on you and Don. I will be back shortly, boys.
All right. My week. Thanks a lot for Odell Jr. Have a day.
You're welcome. It was a good trade.
Went off. Yeah, it was a good trade for you. And Kenny and Drake got hurt. Have a day. Seems to be the typical things that everybody's dealing with this year, these big-time injuries. But nevertheless, we prevailed. The rest of my team kind of went off and did what they needed to do. Everybody double-digit points was great. Waller found the end zone. Tyler Boyd found the end zone, caught a bunch of balls, 100 yards for him. Boston Scott cost that big touchdown versus the Giants. Lost us the game, but won me the fantasy week, so great. Carson Wentz, one of those guys that sucks for 3 quarters and then gets 1,000,000 yards in garbage time and ends up being a decent fantasy quarterback. So I'm going to stick with him because you have Tannehill now. And Amari Cooper, he was actually the only receiver that was catching balls for Dallas, so that helps me. I know CeeDee Lamb didn't do shit, and I know Michael Gallup didn't do shit, but as long as they keep throwing to Cooper, I don't really care. So in that regard, I guess I'm doing okay considering they have Dalton or Danucci or whoever it is they have at QB nowadays.
I think that was all he got all their catches, right? Or
So,
most of them, at least, he got most of their balls.
yeah, he caught 7 balls, and I don't think any of the other receivers even caught. I think they threw to Schultz like twice. Gallup was held catchless. Lamb didn't have any catches. So, a lot of times when a QB comes in that's not as good, he finds like one guy that he relies on that he just throws too short. And if Cooper's going to be that guy, I'll take the PPR points. But I like Don's team. I think this is one of the better teams he's had in the history of our league. I think you could attest to that, Chris. Normally he's lower, you know.
It's definitely Don's best team.
Yeah.
Compared to the team of Giants, this is definitely
yes. Night and day.
I mean, he's got fucking Derrick Henry. Kittle.
Kittle. Yeah. Keenan Allen went off. Deshaun Watson, great fantasy QB. Man. I'm not off Don's team. If he would have just maybe fix his flex. I know he had Sterling Shepard on his bench and he had Golden Tate on his bench. Sterling Shepard actually scored for the Giants in that game on Thursday night. If you remember, if he would have thrown him in, maybe the game would have been closer. So, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's tough to play those Giants guys.
It's so hard.
You never know what they're going to do.
Junior, what do you think about this going right here? So you traded me Odell. You're probably happy to see that, but any takes on the matchup? I mean, normally Don's in the lower barrel, and now he's above you and me. So
he is. He's above both of us. I mean, who do I play this week? Boo. Who was that? Anthony or Big?
Yeah.
Yep, the ghost.
I don't even want to mark it as a win because I haven't been scoring over 100 points.
You definitely should not mark that as a win in no realm of the world, Junior.
Nah, exactly. So I guess I'll wait.
You never know. Who did he beat this week?
He beat Tooch and Danny. He actually destroyed them. He
got a lot of
60 points. We're gonna get to that in a little bit, but yeah, he had second most points this week. Killed it.
Yeah.
But Don should not be 4-3.
Do you not like his team? I mean, I think his team's great. It's definitely better than yours and mine.
Nah, I just don't. I don't like him because he doesn't like me because I don't like bonus swings, or I only eat bonus swings.
Oh, for those listening at home that aren't familiar with the story, since we have some time, why don't you enlighten us between the feud between you and Don? Can you give us the roots to the argument and where it stands now?
Well, one day we all went to Buffalo Wild Wings, okay, and we all decided it was wing night, so we're all getting wings. Who goes to Buffalo Wild Wings doesn't get wings, right? So we all got beer, we got wings, we did whatever we had to do, and came to me, and I ordered boneless wings, and Don said. He pretty much lost his mind and told me he hated me ever since because I don't eat bones or wings on the bone. I only eat them boneless. And this is a true story. And you can ask him why he hates me and ask anyone why he hates me. And he'll tell you because I don't like bone-in wings. Wish I was making it up.
Damn. Chris, any take on that feud?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a true story. We actually should invite him in here and ask him.
That's pretty funny. He said that he didn't feel like he deserved to be here today.
Yeah, Don did decline an invitation to the podcast. This is accurate.
That's great.
He can't defend himself, but I'm sure you were asking for it, Junior.
That's great.
This is accurate stuff.
Now the question is, do I start Brady over Ryan Tannehill this week?
Who's Tannehill playing?
Cincinnati.
Ooh. I mean, they get torched by Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield's garbage. So
they're probably both.
Tom Brady plays the Giants.
This is one of those where it's going to be tight. You're going to start one, and the other one's going to go off.
Yep. I think I should stick with my gut and keep Tannehill. If feel like Bengals always have a high scoring game.
If we don't have Baby Sal here, I guess we could talk about
I don't know where you went.
yeah, if we don't have Baby Sal here, I guess we could touch
Bro,
on
you could challenge each other for a cash prize.
yeah, you can
on
do.
Yahoo.
Let's talk about that for everybody that feels, getting extra competitive edge.
This is like an ad here. We're gonna have to post this on YouTube.
Yep, when you play a team before the league starts, you could agree to challenge for a cash prize and put money on the line through the site, and I believe it rewards you. It probably goes through PayPal or something of that nature. And yeah, so if you're playing your brother this week, it's a big rivalry matchup. Maybe you want to put some dollars in the line, go for it.
Huh.
Use discount code LKI for 10% off.
Has anyone done it? Have you done it?
I'm signing up now to see what it's all about.
Well, Junior, if you can give us some insight, maybe put in the chat later if you don't figure it out now, and
I will.
let us know your experience.
Verifying my identity as we speak.
I wonder if that just comes from the Yahoo, because you could do fantasy on Yahoo. Like you can do daily fantasy and weekly fantasy.
Maybe Sal's back.
Comes out of that pool.
All right, guys.
We could be able to play each other for waiver budget. Like, suppose you got a lot left and I got none left.
Yeah,
We're
that'd be
halfway
fun.
through the recap.
Yep. So I think we still have to get to got to your matchup. Let's go to Black Sheep and Cast, and then we will get to the bottom one.
All right, so update here real quickly. All you have to do is verify your identity, put your address in, put your name, date of birth, and then you're verified, and you can bet. Currently betting a $5 challenge to Anthony for the week.
Nice.
This is pretty sick.
Yeah, so it might be our first ever online cash game, which would be great. Definitely love setting milestones in the league.
What is it?
Maybe Sal, since you're returning back after a short break, we can let you start off with this one. I want to say this: if Cast was going to beat the Black Sheep this week, this was the week to do it. I think that Sal, honestly, 122 is still a decent week, but for his team, he's normally 150, 160, just, kind of depth that he has. So if this was the week for Cass to beat him and upset him, I think this was the week to do it. Obviously didn't get it done. Cass has a decent bench. If you go to show bench, his bench kind of went off, and it sucks. That's the bad thing about having such a deep team sometimes is, sometimes guys go off on your bench and you start the wrong players. And that's kind of what happened here. What do you think, Baby Sal? Because Weezer is up there with you in competition for one of those top spots.
Yeah, not only that, we do play each other in a showdown today, this weekend. What was the score again? Yeah, just looking off the numbers, it doesn't look like a great game on either side. These are two of the top 5 quarterbacks in passing yards this year. So they didn't have great games, even though Matt Ryan had some really bad games. So I guess this is an okay game for him, considering the last couple of weeks. Let's see. Yeah, this wasn't a great matchup in general. I don't even think it was that close either, though. I think Sal pretty much had it in the bag pretty quietly. Gordon did get the play. He's going to be probably suspended soon. Justin Jackson didn't do much, even though he's getting the looks there. And Chargers, McLaurin ate up the Cowboys defense as we expected. Swift's been doing his thing, and Elliott's obviously just been completely MEA. That's probably it's one of the biggest fantasy notables going into week 8. Will we ever find Ezekiel Elliott or get that Cowboys offense back on track in general? So as a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't trust it. I think, anyone who has value in those players are pretty shot. That includes Chris having Gallup, that includes Junior having Lamb, and I think you have Cooper, right? So you might be the only one who's lucky out of that group. So I think Cooper will be the only one who's okay.
Yep, that'd be great.
Let's see what we left on the bench here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Deontay came back and he went off.
Decent benches from both guys.
Yeah,
a lot of bench action. I talked about this last week though, and he was on the podcast with us. I asked the question: do we think Kirk is on the up?
Yeah, I
Turned
know.
around and put up 2 touchdowns. So
Yeah, I know he ended up starting Jackson. Probably kicking himself now.
yeah, I mean, everyone makes their own decision. That's what the fantasy's for. But I mean, I feel like the reason why we try to do the podcast is to enlighten some knowledge, or at least each week. So we can only try, Dill. So
That's
I mean,
right.
I've listened to you in the past. It's helped me draft this year. Helped me reconsider the way I even draft and play it safe at times. Me, I was more of a point chaser than a play it safe guy.
So I think Weezer now goes to 4-3. Cass goes to 2-5.
Yeah.
4-3. Chris, Weezer's right up there with you, the commissioner. I know that you guys did you play him yet? Did you beat him as well?
I did. I beat Sal. I gave Sal his first loss too.
Yeah. So Chris is taking out all the Sals, giving them all their first losses. So he's someone that's right up in contention with you, same record as you. Where do you see him going forward? I mean, I know that it was a rough week for him. I mean, 122 is a good week for most people, but he's got a 150, 160 type caliber team. Where do you see him going?
Sal's got one of the better teams, as you guys have said on paper. Better. He's had some rough matchups, I think. Yeah. And one week he puts up 200, and then the next week he puts up 120, and I beat him. So I mean, he's got what, 1,000 points for?
Yep, leads the league.
Yeah, he's up there. Sal's got a good team. I think he's gonna go pretty high up. Start climbing back up the ranks now.
Right, just over 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
1,000.22.
Yeah.
And one of the key notables, though, on Cass's side, even though he's had tough breaks, especially at the running back position, Dylan loses Drake, and that means Chase Edmonds is going to get even more of a look, which he obviously did in that game. So he'll be able to plug him in right away.
Nah, he's on bye.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
But he gets Michael Thomas back finally, I think.
Yes, I mean, if what's the Drake situation? Do we have a time frame?
Yeah, they said probably like 2-3 weeks. So he should get it like a week or two out of Edmonds. Which
we get Thomas back. Obviously, Edmonds is a good player. Plug Kirk in. Most of it's obviously done, but I mean, crazy that he's lost most of Eckler, Thomas, and he's still even like a good team. Like I mean, the record isn't helping him, but dude, this guy can literally, just like you do. I think you're the two teams that easily bounce back into the playoffs. I mean, just using Thomas. It's gonna be one of you two. I feel like I don't think you'll both get in the top 6, but someone's gonna do it. What do you feel about your team, Dodo? I know I missed the recap on your team, but how do you feel going in with losing Odell and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if you actually look at the league right now, so yeah, if you look at the standings, I'm in 6th. I mean, I'm in 8th right now, but I have more points than the 3 teams ahead of me. So that means I'm only 1 game away. So if I win this week and they lose, I pass all of them. I could technically be in 5th place by next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think I'm right there in terms of one of the lower teams that can make a push. Am I going to make that push? I think it's kind of early to tell. But I think, yeah, I have to deal. the thing is, I
mean, the 4 and 3s play each other, and Chris has to play Luke, so a good comeback week for you. And you get to play the 11th place team that's not doing so well.
Yeah, I know. But like obviously I lost Odell, although I won last week and he got me 0 points. So yes, I can win without him.
You can jump 3 spots, dude.
Yep. So this is a big week for me. I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing Cooper and Boyd. They're my guys. They're consistent. They put up good numbers. Miles Sanders is coming back versus probably the worst Dallas defense I've ever seen in my life. Got to look at the flex. Got to see what I'm going to do. I picked up Edwards for now because Mark Ingram got hurt. I mean, you own Mark Ingram, so you know that. It looks like Edwards getting the goal line, and then they're throwing to Dobbins for the passing downs. But if I can get it, in the end zone with him, Malcolm Brown also had a good week last night.
Mm-hmm.
Put up decent numbers, so we will see.
Thanks, though, man, for you.
Yeah,
you're just on a roll here, big week, and lose those 2 guys.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Drake would be on bye anyway, so I wouldn't have him. But I'm subbing in Perone. I'm optimistic about him. He looked good last week. He got more carries than Gore. He got the goal line carry. if you look in the statistics, he played 70% of the snaps. He's the pass catching back. And the way I see this happening is the Jets are going to be getting blown out by Kansas City by like 30 points. And you know how when the quarterback just throws all those little dump offs to the running back because they're losing by so much and the defense just lets it happen? I could totally see that happening this week. And that'd be great as a plug and play.
Looking for that Burkhardt play. Now, I think Perene's been on the up, obviously, since Bell's been traded.
Yeah, so hopefully he could salvage me some points. Baby Side, you know me better than anybody. If someone could pull off plug and play when you have injuries or bye weeks, it's me.
Yeah, I might be coming to you for advice with the RB2 situation.
So we'll see. And then also McKissick, not bad. Talking about future weeks, obviously I can't play him right now because he's on bye, but he's kind of like a decent pass catcher. If I need to salvage me like 8 floor one day, I can throw him in. And I think I'm probably going to hold on to Philly defense for a little while because I think they play the Giants again, and they play the Cowboys again. So those are two easy matchups. NFC East, as they call it, the NFC least is terrible. So roll with him. And
Ozzie Bonds.
Roll with them. So we'll see.
You never know. Malcolm Brown as well. That backfield you don't know between you and Chris.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of touchdown dependent, but I could throw him in and he could salvage me 10, 11 points.
I think he'll have a 22-point week every couple of weeks.
And the good thing is Miles Sanders is back, or he's at least supposed to be. But if he's not back, I'm totally fine with plugging in Boston Scott again because we're playing the Dallas defense, who is horrible. And Boston Scott catches passes; he does it better than Sanders does. So
I guess there still has a question mark over Cooper just with the situation there, but I feel like he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think he's still going to do his thing. I think Dallas will always be losing. So.
The fact that he only has 2 touchdowns this year is crazy, though.
Yeah, that's it is.
You guys know what the top 5 quarterback for passing yards are so far through the 7 weeks?
I think Herbert's probably no. He didn't play week 1.
What do you think the number 1 is?
I think it's Allen because Wilson had a bye.
Allen is in the top 5. He's number 4. He's number 4 right now.
Touchdowns. That's what they got going.
You said number 1 for passing yards?
Yep. Most likely would have been Dak, but obviously he's hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Prescott. Is Tannehill up there?
No,
it's probably
Brady.
What's his face? No,
Brady's 6th. He's just outside by 10.
What's his fucking name? Rodgers.
No.
Joe Burrow
Really?
might be up there.
Burrow is 3rd. That's one of the notables I wanted to touch.
Where's Rodgers?
Rodgers is surprisingly like 12 or so. He's down there.
Wow.
So the number 1 is Matt Ryan with 181. Deshaun Watson has 2095. Burrow 2023. Josh Allen 2018. And Teddy Bridgewater at 1930. 20 yards ahead of Brady. Crazy.
Where's Dak at, even though he's injured?
Still like 10th, 3, 4, 5.
I was going to say he's probably still up there somehow.
Exactly 10th, though. Still ahead of Minshew, but, Junior is always going to play Minshew over Mahomes. So.
Losing Dak Prescott hurt me a lot. That was my
Actually, Luke might have to play Minshew this week. I love when people get Minshew in their lineup this time of year. All right, so let's go to the most points of the week. 132 versus a 181, which is a huge matchup. I think another direct quote was, "I should have won this game." It was something along those lines, Dill, right? Or I shouldn't have lost this game. Was that? I want to misquote the dog, the co-champion.
Yeah. He said that he's done with the sport. He says the sport of football is stupid. He said the league is stupid, and he's not playing anymore.
But he legit got quoted saying, or caught saying, "I should have won. I shouldn't have lost."
No, that was Junior.
No, I think Joey said it as well. But so I know it came from someone. He said I shouldn't have lost. Yet Luke put up 181 points. What do you mean?
Junior, Junior said last week
anyone would have
lost. Junior said he didn't know how he lost last week.
Yeah, that was last
Junior,
week.
can you touch on that real quick? You put up 76 points. What don't you know about how you lost? How did you not lose? You weren't.
I don't remember that.
Okay, he doesn't remember it.
Are you sure it was me?
My easiest win in fantasy history, bro.
I don't think that was me.
Yeah, you're the only one that got 76 points, dude. It was you.
No, are you sure it was me that said that?
Yes, sir.
Mahomes, 14 points.
Yeah, maybe maybe this was the week to start Minshew instead of Mahomes, Joe, but he's not on your team anymore.
I mean, it was the weather, right? I mean, that's really I think the main excuse, I guess. They dominated that game either way. But we did have an Adams sighting, which I think Dill touched on in his segment. 13 receptions, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. But at this point, that means he's going to fade away and get hurt for 7-9 weeks. So he had his big breakout week. Metcalf, I think he was complaining about that too, which I can understand. 2 receptions, 23 yards for Metcalf is not what's really expected this year. He was freaking out about that though. Dude, I think I saw. I don't like Montgomery, man. I think he's a terrible running back. I really don't think he's a good running back. I mean, there's only so many of them, so you got to play him. But he didn't have Jonathan Taylor, dude. He plug and played Williams though. Remember, we got him hard on that one, Dill. Williams put up 21 points. But
Jones didn't play.
Oh, he didn't play at all. He didn't go down during the game.
No, he was ruled out. That's why Weezer.
Okay.
Weezer started DeAndre Swift.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good plug and play then. Yeah, I knew he was out. I just thought he went down. Dude, I saw Montgomery try to like shake and bake somebody, and the guy just drilled him. Like he just couldn't do anything.
That's good.
That guy can't move. Remember the good Three Cohen days, Chris, when you used to have him back in the year that I beat you?
I had him this year too.
Yeah, you love that man.
Yeah, both my running backs tore their ACLs this year.
Yeah, we should touch on that, Dill, because Chris is one of those guys who kind of just sticks with his guys. You know, like I've had Diggs for 3 of the 4 years he's been in the league that I realized, is it, where does that come from? Is that just like a trust you build with these guys, a rapport you build with them pretty much over the years?
Yeah, I think some of them tend to be consistent, so I like to stick with them. But I was thinking about, I've had a very consistent pick number in the draft too. So I feel like a lot of times the same guys fall in line in the same spot year after year.
So you've struggled since that year, huh? That been the case?
When? Oh, when I did really good that one?
That finals year, have you really been kind of taking a back seat? Obviously, you haven't done any loser punishments, but I'm trying to remember really where you've been in the picture.
Yeah, I don't remember last year before. I felt like I was doing pretty good this year until I lost my team.
Yeah. Oh, last year you got destroyed with injuries though.
Last year the same thing. I lost Barkley last year too.
Yeah. Yeah, D-Lin who went out.
Yeah.
It was the same story.
I made some better pickups this year though, so I feel all right.
So do you continue trusting these guys that get injured for you every year?
I'm definitely not taking Barkley again, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm heading with the questions here.
Yeah.
So we're not drafting Barkley no matter what in anywhere near the first round.
No, probably not.
What pick was that? 3?
2. I could have
had anyway. You could have Kamara.
Yeah, I could have Kamara. I could have Zeke.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
The perspective.
Yeah, it's nuts.
What do you have to say about this matchup with Luke, who's obviously back on track? Was the number 1 going into the draft.
Yeah, I mean he's got crazy guys on his team. Mayfield went off. What do you guys touch on basically? Mahomes kind of let him down, I think.
Yeah.
No, you can't have Patrick Mahomes getting 14 points on your team. But it's also hard to beat 181.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount of points in our league. Dill, do you think you start looking at playing Mayfield over Lamar Jackson sometimes?
No.
You just plug Jackson right back in?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lamar's going to pick it up. That's one of those guys. I mean, he drafted him 2nd round for
it's freaky, I believe.
Drafted him early for a reason. I mean, he played him because it was a bye. I think, although he has a tough schedule, I think you play him. That's one of those guys that you play every week.
Even coming back playing Pitt off the bye?
Yeah, I think that's one of the guys you still play. He always has the chance to just break out runs for hundreds of yards.
Yeah.
And I think, but that's not really the most dangerous thing about Luke's team. The most dangerous thing is he's got, Josh Jacobs didn't even have a good game, but he's got Kamara and Jacobs' 1-2 punch. He got Cooper Kupp and Tyler Lockett as well. So he's got decent receivers. He has a strong team everywhere. Even Hawkinson stepped up at tight end for him. I think he was playing Hayden Hurst before then. but he's playing Hawkinson now.
Yeah, man, Tyler Lockett, dude.
Yeah, I mean that. I don't know if we'll see that every week, but it looks like that. Well, the Wilson's been playing at an MVP level, and when the quarterback's been playing that well, obviously the wide receivers are going to benefit. Whether it's Lockett, and in this case, it wasn't Metcalf.
Yeah,
Really for Joey this week. But Luke's team is strong from top to bottom. He really doesn't have a weak spot when he has everybody and there's no bye weeks. I mean, he didn't have his starting quarterback this week, and he dropped 180. Obviously, his plug and play worked out, but yeah, regardless, even if you took away those points, if he started no quarterback, he still would have won this week. So that just goes to show how strong the rest of his team is. Where do you think, Junior, about these two boys? Joseph Koempel, a man who shares your name, and Lucas Adduchio, a man who used to share your flag football jersey, but he left your team.
I think Luke's got a great team. Joey, let me pull his team up so I can see. Joey's team's not bad. It's just poor management. But Luke's team is filthy. And I think it's gonna be him and Baby Sal just going neck and neck till the end. To be honest with you, you'll see a mix of Weezer in there as well. Maybe a shock from Don going to the playoffs, but I see Luke going all the way.
Do you guys think Don can make the whole thing, the finals?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd like to see him in the playoffs, though. I mean, it'd be nice to have a playoff shot.
I could see him just going to the playoffs.
You want to keep it real. I think he drops out. I think Dill takes his spot in a sense, at least as of right now.
Yeah, that'd be great. Feel free to drop out, Joe.
I mean, I could see Joey and Don dropping out of the playoff run, to be honest.
They both drop out. I'm hungry to come back in. So I think I play so I play Tooch and Danny this week, and then I think I looked ahead to my schedule. I play Junior the week after that.
Yep. I have my next 3 weeks. I have Big, Don, and Dill.
You play the Ghost?
So
this week.
Got some juicy matchups coming. I guess let's go to the Ghost matchup because that's the last one we need for the weekly recap. If you were to put all your money on a team that finished, second highest, and if I just told you this team will score 164 points this week, I think Big Boy's team probably would have been dead last in voting for everybody in the league. But
yes,
Casper, the friendly ghost, shocked them all. Junior, while we're on the topic, that's your brother. What do you have to say as his status as a manager? Where his heart is at in terms of fantasy football in general and with the league, and where do you deliver? Like, how is this level of success delivered at such a blink of an eye when he was winless?
Well, he was really determined to quit after going 0-6, 0-7, and then it definitely changed this past week when he won. And we watched all the games together with Cass was here as well, and he was pretty excited about being in the lead and winning, and finally securing that first win. But I don't know. I don't know if he's fully committed this year. I think he's just kind of fed up with that 0-7, and if he can turn it around, we'll see. But I don't think it's possible. Or 0-6.
Salvage not coming in dead last. You've done the loser's punishment before. He's done it before. I know both of you don't want to do it again, but you guys are kind of both towards the bottom right now. Do you think that he's a lock to come in dead last, or you think maybe he can get an 11th or 10th spot?
I don't think he'll come in dead last. I think he'll pull something out somewhere because, if you think about it, when it comes down to the bracket or the consolation bracket, it's not the matter of the record at that point. It's a matter of who wins all those games.
Absolutely.
What are you guys thinking for the punishment?
Do you think this is a preview of the punishment? Because I'm thinking that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we're looking at it right here, Fresh Prince of Helaire. I think it'll be a dual punishment this year.
I do think Chris and Danny's will be the 12th at the end, all said and done. But
their team it's not terrible. Like
they continue to take blows and blows and blows. Now Devo's out too on top of it. I mean, it just doesn't add.
Mm-hmm.
I know they do have. I think they have some guys that are coming back. They're probably going to start Joe Burrow, I would assume. He's been a great fantasy quarterback because they're always losing and he's always throwing, which is great. And he throws to my boy Tyler Boyd, which is awesome. DJ Moore.
I would have told Kelsey by now.
I can't believe Kelsey didn't I mean, right side is Travis Kelce's playing the Jets this week. So if he's going to bounce back, this is going to be the week.
You get two players out of Kelsey.
You got Edwards-Helaire versus the Jets as well. I know they also have Le'Veon Bell. Maybe you start Le'Veon Bell. Maybe this is one of those revenge games where the Chiefs gives the Bell the ball and he just runs all over the Jets. That'd be great to see. They have players that can score points. Crowder too. Crowder was great until he got hurt.
He absolutely. Well, he's gonna have to plug in AJ Green. I guess it's the last option now.
Yep. AJ Green's actually kind of turned up a little bit considering he was god awful in the first half of the year. He started catching balls. He was always getting the targets, but he couldn't catch the goddamn ball to save his life. Yeah, and then Joe Mixon was hurt, but Giovanni Bernard, they plugged him in. He did a fine job, which was great. I don't know about Singletary, though, because, he played the Jets and he couldn't do shit. If you can't do shit against the Jets.
Yeah, I'm thinking, play Bell and Helaire. Bell is the flex. You go Helaire and your Mixon, unless, obviously, Gio's playing and not Mixon.
Yeah,
he doesn't have any depth, period, really, after that, because all the bullshit, all the injuries, except for Crowder. But
and then hopefully, they get Crowder back. So I don't think their team's
gonna have to make some move. They gotta try to make some moves, though, dude.
Yeah, they have point producers.
I don't know, but he's made 25 waiver moves. But for a team at least half the team, Nick last year sent out more. Both Knicks. It was the trade offers of the Knicks last year. I don't think I haven't seen one trade from FreshPrinceOfHelaire. Last year I probably had 50 at this point, just for me.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Hit me $1 million last year. I remember that.
You think Danny's really just stopping Tooch from doing that, or?
I know Tooch is more. Tooch is kind of more aggressive.
Liberal and.
Tooch is more aggressive, where he'll make big time trades, big time decisions. He kind of plays the boomer bust rather than the safe side. I think Danny's more conservative, when it comes to fantasy. So maybe that conflicting mind, which is not allowing them to pull the trigger on some moves. But sometimes it's when you're that low, even me, I'm, right there. I'm one game away from them, win or lose. I can really propel myself forward, or I could take a step back. Sometimes it's you really have to pull the trigger. That's why I made a couple of big trades, just hoping one will pan out because, league's almost halfway over. So we don't have that many more weeks where we can kind of slack. We really got to start picking it up. So sometimes if you got to pull the trigger and it fails, it fails. But, I think they might be needing to take a shot. And who knows, maybe Tooch will send out a trade in the future. I know that we have texted separately, trying to figure out, some sort of trade. I don't know who else Tooch has reached out to, but so he has been a little bit proactive, but not as much as he was last year, of course.
What's your guys' intake on Tua? You had this magic.
Start him.
You gonna pick him up and start him, Junior?
Nah, not in this league.
Yeah, I dropped Tua. I picked him up originally, but then I'm just probably going to roll with Carson Wentz for now.
It was the bye week anyway. It was useless. Yeah, you just kind of keep your eye on it.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset they benched my boy Fitzmagic. He was killing it for me, giving me lots of garbage time points, which was great.
I'm surprised they did that.
Yeah, the guy wasn't even doing bad. They were 3-3, which is I feel like that's better than the Dolphins have started in a while. They're usually 0-6.
Yeah, he was playing good.
Yeah, he wasn't doing bad, but and what's funny too is they wait for the game after the Jets to put Tua in. So instead of starting Tua against the Jets, which would be a nice game, easy game to get rolling, get some rhythm, they're starting them against the Rams and Aaron Donald, who just absolutely were in Nick Foles' face. If you watch the Monday night game, they were destroying Nick Foles. They were sacking him on his ass. He had no time to throw. I think that we're probably going to see something similar like that with the Dolphins and the Rams. So I don't know why that's the decision, but I'm not the head coach, so.
I think Nick Foles is the streakiest quarterback ever.
Oh yeah, man. He'll forever be remembered as the the Saint Nick won the Super Bowl for Philly, but I don't know, man.
All right, so guys, if we can run down the week 8, who we think is going to win each match really fast. We don't have to go into the players and all that, and obviously we've done that.
Sal versus Sal.
The battle of Sal's happens once a year.
Yeah, Battle of Sal's happens once a year. I think Baby Sal wins this. I think on paper it says Weezer should win, but your team has been hotter recently. You had 0 points out of your RB2 last week, and you still put up more points than he did. He does get Aaron Jones back, which is huge. So we have to factor that in. I think it's gritty. Obviously, I think you got some of the matchups that you like. I think Ronald Jones versus the Giants is great. I think Tyreek Hill versus the Jets is great. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to run through the Vikings because they suck. Josh Allen's a tough matchup versus New England. I mean, just kind of just looking at his. I mean, it's going to be a good game. This is probably my game of the week because you're the first place team. He has the most points, so we'll see who really is the top dog. I think I'm going to go with you. I think it's been hotter recently.
Be a good one. I think this is definitely a good one. I hope I can pull it off. Definitely one to look at. Battle of Sal is always fun. Yeah, I've had him. I definitely got him last year.
Chris and Luke Legs. Chris, what do you think this week?
Doing all right.
You think you
Doing all right?
off? Chris Carson is injured for him, by the way.
I never want to call it, but I'm feeling all right. I think it's a big week though for us, me, you, and a couple of us in the middle. You know, kind of it's gonna lay out more where we are.
Yeah, it's where you either take the step.
We're all there's like 4 or 5 of us that are 4 and 3.
I think Herbert's been excellent, but no, I think Chris has this one. I think Chris has this one personally.
I think if Devontae Freeman does not go, Chris has to make an adjustment. But Chris is
that's the biggest hole.
Chris is a good enough manager where I assume he will make a trade or a roster ad or maybe plug Peterson.
We're plugging in Peterson, yeah,
if need be.
I've just sent a trade out to someone in the league, so we will see.
Oh, there we go. Very, very nice. Yeah, Chris Carson does not
look out, so he's not gonna be in the roster. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's gonna play. Yeah, I know he'll be out
Cook
for
back. Cook guaranteed to be back. He might be a game time. I don't know.
I think Dalvin Cook is
back to the return.
Yeah, I think that he's good to go. Although Luke doesn't have his normal receivers. I think that he's starting Slayton. I mean, starting a Giant is always risky. He doesn't have his big guys. He doesn't have Will Fuller.
He's got a lot of guys on bye.
Yeah, he doesn't got Fuller. He doesn't got Chark. Julio
and no Carson. This is a down week for Luke. He ain't getting through this.
Yeah, he's got some
left out.
He has some rough.
This is where the win against me is so important for you. So to get to 5 and 3 now would be make last week so much more important.
Yeah, I think if Chris wins this here, he really gives himself a really strong chance to secure one of those late playoff spots. And then obviously if Luke wins here, he's really pushing towards that top 3 range.
I went the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. He just doesn't have a defense.
Oh, he didn't have one last week either. So
yeah, I think he's going to need his defense and kicker and tight end this week to try and pull.
We kind of talked about mine. We can just go through real quick.
Yeah, I think this actually is going to be a very close game. With your situation, Dill, I probably have you losing just because of everything that happened. But you are playing them, who never seem to be able to pull off a win. So
yeah, he's got the matchups for sure. Kelsey versus the Jets, Helaire versus the Jets, great.
On paper, you're gonna have to just go with Danny, but
yeah, I mean, I think he has the matchups, but I think that I think I could see myself pulling something out of my sleeve.
It's a sneakily interesting game to definitely look out for this week.
I think I could steal this one. I like my matchups too. I think that Dallas is so bad. I think that Dallas game is just gonna bleed fantasy points. that Sunday night game. I got a lot of guys, so we're really not going to know who wins till Sunday night because I got Wentz, I got Cooper.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. This might be
the defense. So I could be down by like 60, 70 points and still come back and win. So it's really going to
come down to suck up on Monday night. Like at that point, it could be one of those games.
It's gonna be a gritty one. I think
be like 115 to 110 type of game,
one of those gritty nail biters. I don't know if I could do
another. You have to watch a kicker for freaking 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what I did. Versus Cass, but that propelled me to my first win. And we got to go through one more game.
So juniors matchup next week.
Yeah, we got the battle of the Koempel brothers.
Yeah.
Versus Ghost and Self. I have Boo winning this by probably the largest margin of all teams.
Really? Well, Boo doesn't have a quarterback, and Boo does not have DeAndre Hopkins. So
we're on the same team, by the way.
And he doesn't have David Johnson. So if Junior is going to win, it is this week because Big Boy has nobody.
I think Junior will find a way to lose with all of that being said.
Big Boy does not have his 3 best players. He doesn't have
actually. What happens here? Who picks up since the Ghost is in control? I know the Commissioner is obviously in control. is he going to waiver a quarterback if it's not on the roster? Or does Junior just get a default?
I don't
He
know.
can't.
New
It
territory.
has to be on your active roster.
That's what I'm thinking. So if I think Junior might get screwed by the commissioner again, and he might bend the rules a little bit on this one.
He can.
because he has to
If
be on
there's
your
no
team.
quarterback on his roster, he can't put anyone in.
Yeah, because then he would have. He
That's
would
what I
have put
believe, too, yeah.
He would have put in a defense for Luke last week.
Like I literally think it's an automatic win at this point, dude.
I hope so.
Yeah, you would say that, but Luke Adduchio would have won last week without his quarterback anyways. So
True. But we do have a rule that's been there since day one where you have to have like a full roster in a sense. So
full roster to your roster's
like
capability.
a starting roster, like we can't start a roster like no quarterback, So I'm not sure.
We'll see what Casper does if he works the waiver wire this week.
Yeah, I guess he's allowed to still manage his team, so I guess it depends on him as well.
Is he not in the Snapchat thing anymore?
Oh yeah, he left that like 4 times.
He's gone. He's ghosted. No pun intended. So Joey plays Don. Why is Don projected so low this week? Oh, Watson's out. We said that.
Watson's out. Yeah, he's gonna be rough.
I don't know he's gonna stream in. There's quarterbacks available. I hope Don wins, but I don't think Don wins this week. I don't think he wins this week. You never know with those running backs still and Kittle. So.
You're right.
He does get Jonathan Taylor back, Joey. Yeah, Joey should win this match. Let's see what quarterback he gets. And then the last one is Cass and Luke Adduchio. And I don't think there's any chance that Luke loses this. But
this guy Cass just can't catch a break. Oh my god.
He
to
be honest, he might be in that running for the losers.
He faces Weezer and now he just runs into a fucking highly fucking well-oiled machine brick wall. I feel bad for the guy.
With buys. Forget the injuries, now buys. This is his bye week.
Now he's got buys. Luke Adduchio has every single one of his players back. He's got all his studs.
Look at the buys. I said earlier that it wasn't a terrible bye week, but I guess I didn't look at his team.
Yes,
he has Washington and Arizona. I said Arizona.
Michael Thomas is going to play, so he could put him for McLaurin, which would be good. And then I guess he's going to play Gaskin, who's okay. But I mean, Luke from top to bottom, his roster is back. And also, he's got Rams D versus Miami. If Tua shits the bed, that could be like one of those 20-point defense games.
Michael Thomas could make this a lot better if he's healthy playing and looks like himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's Thomas's first game back, so we'll see.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be covered by Kyle Fuller on the Bears, too.
What a bad time to lose Mostert again.
Yeah, I mean, Cass is kind of just running into brick wall after brick wall.
Fuck it, man. Yeah, it's bad.
Hey, upset of the week. If he wins this is definitely upset of the week.
Yeah, this is one of.
This is definitely upset alert. If we were to place an upset alert,
he's at 14% right now. We don't even go by that.
Well, he doesn't have a full roster, and it's probably somewhere around like the 70-30 range. 65 range. Luke's team is absolutely ridiculous, regardless of who he's playing, and he's playing one of the teams that has been hindered the most by injuries and now buys. So I think all signs point to a Luke Adduchio win, but you never know. Hey, Cass starts out on Thursday night with Matt Ryan. If he can get a good start there with Ryan and Koo, maybe they can give him an early lead.
He can get 20 points himself,
Yeah, if he can get maybe 40 points out of them, give him a nice start, like how my Wentz and Boston Scott gave me.
Yeah, for sure. Chris, what's your prediction for the end of the year for yourself and for the league and the league winner, league loser, and where Junior will place?
Oh geez, I'm looking to shoot up low end of the playoffs. Yeah, I think bottom is between basically the 4 that are down there right now: Junior, and Nick and Danny and Anthony.
Ouch.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, just remember, from Bill up, anyone can get not only make the playoffs, but anyone from 1 to 8 can get the buys.
Yeah.
The playoffs.
I mean, everybody between 4 and 8 right now are one game within each other. So if one team wins, one team loses. And honestly, look at.
They didn't even secure a playoff spot yet. So.
And look at number 3. I mean, Luke Liguori is third, and I have more points than him too. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's honestly scrappy. Like every game matters. So like
every point matters. More important.
literally every point matters. So like even if you're losing, but you put up a good fight, like suppose you lose 170 to 160, and yeah, that sucks that you lost, but those extra points might help you, moving forward. So yeah, I mean, yeah, look at Weezer. He's got 1,000 points so that always helps him. So even if he doesn't have the best record, we're all, you guys are all 4-3. That's the most common record in the league right now. We have, 1/4 of the league, a third of the league is 4-3, but he has more points by almost, over 100. So he gets that spot. So that's why points for are so important.
Yeah, I have the lowest in the league right now, so I'm in a tough spot.
Yeah, so you kind of just gotta keep winning. I mean, as long as you get the wins, it doesn't matter, right? But
yeah, but if I'm not winning, then I'm heading down fast.
Yep.
But and then yeah, I mean, Baby Sal, and Luca Adduchio all have real good teams, so that'll be. I think I'm looking up for the top 3.
Yep. So actually, yeah, it looks like breaking 400, breaking 900. I mean, yeah, I have the 4th most points, and I'm in 8th place. So it gets the way. That's sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. Just look
That's
at
how it works, bro.
Look at that points against. Yeah, I have the 2nd most points against. Oh my God, look at Big Boy's points against. 1,026. That's just brutal, man. I mean, baby Sal, look at yours. You and Don have the exact same amount of points against.
It actually got worse. I think.
Everybody look at how
really
that is.
Holy shit!
Baby Sal and Don have the exact to the decimal points against. So yeah, you guys have definitely gotten fortunate in terms of scheduling. Sometimes you just get screwed over and you play the best guys every week, which definitely sucks. But yeah, I mean, poor Big Boy can't catch a break.
Dylan has 42 roster moves.
That's right.
42 roster. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That's right. Who has the least?
I have 8. Luke has 7.
Luca Adduchio with 7, but honestly,
Adduchio, and he just picked up Antonio Brown to make it 7.
Yeah, and he picked up Baker just for this week. But honestly, like he had a good draft and like good for him. He didn't really have any injuries, so like he was kind of just able to roll with the sick roster he drafted. And
also has $98 left, so he might just be waiting and holding on.
Yeah, because once you get into the playoffs and like suppose you get into the playoffs and it's like and you're into the championship and or you're in the semifinals and like a big time, like suppose Aaron Jones gets hurt and Jamal Williams is on the waiver wire, a huge guy like that, like Luke could drop 60 on him, 70 on him when nobody else has it. So maybe he's waiting for one of those type of moments, which is smart on his part.
Definitely. Where do you think Junior will finish, Chris?
Towards the bottom. No offense.
Oh my God.
No offense, Junior. I don't think you're.
Yikes.
You're looking too good.
Yikes.
I think Junior's the black sheep of the league.
Junior's failed to break 100 points, I think, I think he got 101, but he's really hasn't even gotten past.
Will you break 100 points this week?
A couple weeks. Yeah, that's where Junior's over-under is set at this point.
I think I will.
He's playing against a ghost, so we'll see. Hey, if Big Boy beats Junior this week by a decent amount of points, Big Boy and Cass loses, Big Boy can move. If Big Boy wins this week and
moving to 10th,
Luch and Danny lose, Cass loses, and then obviously Junior
we can move into 9th.
Big Boy can slide into 9th place. So that just shows, like, look at the points for. I mean, Junior only has 30 more points for than him. So if Big Boy blows him out, he can. This league is still anybody's league. Think of it, dude. Luke Liguori is in 3rd place. He only has 35 more points than Big Boy, who's in dead last. That's one big week. So it's everybody's league. It's all up for grabs. I don't want anybody to quit. It's been a good season so far.
Absolutely.
And keep it rolling, man. That's all I got.
Good.
It's gonna be it's a very interesting week. I'm actually excited this week, unlike the last 2 weeks, honestly.
Yeah, that's been pretty good. I'm surprised and happy.
Me losing kind of put me back on my toes, so I like it. I like to get regrounded sometimes. Thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, take a look at the budget.
I like being on the top, man.
The budget count right before we go. So you have no budget left, but you're in first place. Junior is in 9th place and he has no budget left. So if he wants to make a move, he can't. Big boy is in dead last place. He has no budget left. He wants to make a move. He can't. Me, Cass, Luke, Liggs, and Chris are running pretty low. Don has a lot left because he always does. Joey's kind of about halfway. And then Tooch and Danny not far behind. So there's still and then obviously we talked about Luke Adduchio has all of his budget.
Joey has 50 still, but I think it's just because he hasn't won a lot. He's bidded a lot.
Yeah, well, I think he put some of that on his Gardner Minshew pickup, so he's probably wishing he would have just saved the money. So that play alone, Joey would be so Joey would have had about 40 more points for on that one play.
5-2.
Yeah, he'd be 5-2, and he'd
920 points for roughly 5-2. He'd be third.
So, he would have more points than Luke Liggs right now. Joey would be in 3rd place right now, and now he's in 6th, scrounging for a playoff spot because he benched Patrick Mahomes. We'll be talking about this one for years to come.
No, this kid's gonna miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 spots because of it. And
Junior,
Yo,
how much of your waiver did you spend on one player? Was it $80?
80.
Yeah,
I spent
Is he
68.
even on your roster anymore?
Yeah, it's Mike Davis.
So Junior spent $80 on Mike Davis. Do you want to hear the story behind this? So Mike Davis is the handcuff to Christian McCaffrey. Junior drafted him, then he dropped him, and he picked up my handcuff. His guy went down, and he had to re-pick him up, but he couldn't do it for free anymore. So he had to spend $80 on his own handcuff that he actually drafted.
He already had.
That he could have had, but he had to be ignorant and pick up my handcuff. And so he picked up my handcuff instead of his own. Now he had to spend $80 for a player that should have been free. And now
Your handcuff screwed me that 1 week.
Yeah, and then he had Alexander Madison. This is Junior was waiting. Alexander Madison's coming out party. Junior could not wait for him to finally come. He spent the waiver on him. He picked him up. He was so excited for Dalvin Cook to get hurt. Madison had the full start. He had all the carries. He got about 5 points. And now they had the bye week, and now Cook's back. So that was Junior's master plan. So between the 80 points on a guy he already had and Joey's, Patrick Mahomes benching, those are probably 2 highlight duds of the season, I'd say. And I guess my trade was pretty much a dud because I gave you Juju for free. So congrats for getting some production out of him. He's playing Baltimore this week, so maybe he won't go as off as he did, but good luck moving forward, Junior. I think you're going to need it, especially without McCaffrey again. Another week. You got Naheem Hines as your RB2.
Yep.
I mean, the guy's grasping at straws at this point.
Not wrong.
Hey, boys. Thank you, Chris, for coming out. Junior, obviously, for joining us as well.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Good luck the rest of the way. You guys have a fun, safe weekend.
Hey,
Love
you guys.
Yep.
Fun trick-or-treat.
Podcast. Good luck, everybody, and we'll see you.
Absolutely.
Peace out, boys.
All right,
Blitz
see ya.
out.